Into the depths of darkness, that void of nothingness, lukewarm threads of seething rays of crimson spewed into millions of transoms. As the spurt of the color began to thicken, becoming many shades of the same organic color, the rushing of the girth of the vortex began, and things in it started to become shapes, a billion years of formalities scaffolded in seconds. Or possibly, those years were unfolding in the midst of one presence, showing the complexity that endowed the crimson world. The view of this unearthly place was becoming more distinct. Hot, molten lava boiled, spurted in lavishing disorder at the base of blackened mountains. The liquefied lava flowed through an abundance of tributaries extending endlessly as far as the eye could see. It was a web-like structure. One river of lava flowed through an open cavern at the base of a mountain perched higher than any sierra. It was so vast, you would think it to be a black hole. Black, sooty clouds rumbled about it. Glorifying its known presence in the crimson world, the river continued to flow endlessly over collapses and chasms that overflowed, starting yet another river of hot, molten lava. On the other side of the palisade, many rock formation pillars exhausted high above raven clouds. The stone pillars were smooth, having no roughness in them. The cobblestone-like structure was more of a testament, and it was not the endless time of this realm that formed them. Something of a nature had constructed them with infallible provocation, nurturing the diseased plague that filled this world. The smoky-like clouds bellowed to a channel of wind. What peered from that cloud was a black, leathery, winged creature with open talons. The legs were muscular and tense, perhaps wanting to sink its claws into its prey. It flew onward, disappearing into another dark cloud. High above the sullen haze, the pillars ended with a flat surface shape like a diamond. Sarcophagus, made of the same stone fragments as the pillars, were floating above the diamond-shaped heads of the pillar. And standing in the presence of the stone-shaped coffins were entities, like the one that had appeared out of the crystal ball of Miss Johanna Belgium. Thousands of them stood over a sarcophagus of their own. They were letting out cries of agony and vengeance every few seconds. It was without rhythm. The stone coffins had an oval-shaped opening at the top. The opening was big enough for the size of a human head to pass through, but no bodies were in them. Instead, static light energy brightened from a denseness to only ignite a silent torrent, making the entity scream. But there stood one pillar slightly higher above all the rest of them. The entity that stood upon that one was silent. Its unblinking eyes were a void in themselves. A shallow crimson was settled in them. And what was its mouth seeped? Also a settled crimson. Its mouth was in the shape of a half grin. The stone coffin it stood over lay the body of Johanna Belgium. Her eyes were closed and at rest. Behind the motionless beast was a narrow walkway that led into something invisible to the human eye.